nice stay last night in Highland Falls, New York. It was a little hotel that we stayed at, Fairbridge Inn Suites, and then went into town for lunch. And we went to this little diner. I actually had breakfast for lunch. I had a Florentine omelet with spinach and feta cheese in it. It was really good. Just kind of craving some vegetables, so I had that spinach. And we got a resupply and just spent the afternoon and evening recovering and resting in the hotel room. And had pizza delivered for dinner, which was nice. I ordered extra pizza than I needed, so I'm carrying a little bit with me today, and I'll probably eat it with my dinner tonight. And so it was a good stay. And then this morning, the owner of the hotel drove us back to trail, so that was also really great. And crossed over the Hudson River, so really cool. The bridge was amazing, and it's still very, very smoky and hazy out from the wildfires. But one of the locals yesterday at the diner said that there's supposed to be a shift in the wind, and the smoke is supposed to leave this area tonight. So hopefully that's true. Sounds like other hikers are actually taking a 0 day today because they didn't want to hike in the smoky weather. Worried about the air pollution. Never really occurred to me to take time off the trail for that as smoke. I didn't hear about it till this morning when I was already back on trail. But that's all right. I don't smell anything or notice it here in the woods. It's just when I'm at a view that I can really tell. And that's what's going on this morning. And in a little bit, I should be walking up to a deli. So I'm gonna stop in there for second breakfast. Shopping at the Appalachian market was awesome. It's just okay, my arm got caught in a thorn. It's just a gas station convenience store, but they sell hot food and they cater to hikers, and so it was great. I had a bagel with cream cheese, I had a muffin and some chocolate milk. And then I picked up some snacks for the next couple days because my resupply in town was a little light. There just weren't a lot of options. And I also got 2 new water bottles. I'm meaning to get new water bottles for a little while, and I keep forgetting, but today I remembered. One of my water bottles had lasted over 1,000 miles. And it had a hole in it, so every time I drink out of it, water would dribble out the side. And then the other one is the smaller one that I mix up electrolytes and stuff in, and it was just kind of getting a little bit gross. So time to replace them. And now I'm hiking again, and I have about 14 miles left in the day. These stone walls are everywhere. I've seen them all throughout New Jersey, and now in New York. There's more right up here. I asked a local about them a couple days ago, and he said that they divided property lines way back in the day, and that they're probably a couple hundred years old. So they're really beautiful, and it's just really amazing to think about how old they are. Earlier when I walked into the Appalachian market, like when I walked in the parking lot, there was a guy sitting at a picnic table who was pointing at me and smiling and waving, and he said, "I haven't seen you in months." And I looked at him and I was like, "Boy, I know you." I was like, "I'm sorry, I don't remember your trail name." And he told me his name was Money. I couldn't really think it rang a bell, but I was kind of trying to be polite. I was like, "Oh yeah, it's been a really long time." Then all of a sudden, I remembered who he was. I said, "Is your real name Rich?" And he said, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh my goodness, I remember you. I hiked with him in Georgia, like over 1,300 miles ago, almost 1,400 miles ago at this point." We stayed at the same hostel around the bend, which is mile 70. And I stayed there 2 nights and just did like a short hike. And he stayed 1 night and hiked out a full day, and I haven't seen him since. But it's crazy how he was a friend for a couple of days. We hiked around each other. That's back when we were all doing low mile days, and I got to know him, and then he went on and never saw him again after all this time. And he recognized me. I didn't recognize him because he has a long beard now, and all these men with their long beards look the same. But it was really cool to see him, and they tell you out here on the trail never to say goodbye, just to say see you later. And that's an example. I've had other times where I've seen people after a few hundred miles, but that's definitely the longest stretch I've gone without seeing someone and then being reunited. That was really fun. It is 4:15 and I'm about a mile and a half away from the shelter. Today's been a great day. I've felt pretty good, feel energized. My feet are a little bit sore because there's been a lot of rocks, but it's nothing bad at all. My upper back still hurts a tad bit, but really, this is one of the better days that I've had with it. So, feeling good. The shelter today is, I can't remember the name of it right now, but it's one of the newer shelters on trail. It opened in 2021 and it is on the lake. So I'm looking forward to seeing what this is going to be like. I hope it's pretty. I think this is going to be my first shelter that is on a lake. So looking forward to that. I hope it's a nice view and a nice area. I think it's some kind of a state park or something because there's also supposed to be restrooms and drinking fountains. There's a concession stand, but they're only open on the weekends. And yeah, looking forward to getting there, and I should be there pretty soon. All right, I have reached where I turn and take a Blue Blaze down to camp.